Bhakti Shatak, verse number 59. Hari Hari Janaki Atpate Charitana Buddha Lakhi Paya Radhe Radhe.
Hari Hari Janaki Atpate Charitana Buddhi Lakhi Paya Radhe Radhe.
Hari Hari Janaki Atpate Charitana Buddha Lakhi Paya Radhe Radhe.
Hari Hari Janaki Atpate Charitana Buddhi Lakhi Paya Radhe Radhe.
अति विचित्र गति दोन की रस कही समझ सकाय राधे राधे.
अति विचित्र गति दुहुन की रसी कही समझ सकाय राधे राधे.
अति विचित्र गति दोन की रस कही समझ सकाय राधे राधे.
अति विचित्र गति दुहुन की रसी कही समझ सकाय राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे राधे.
जय राधे कृष्ण राधे राधे Jaya Radhe.
Krishna Jaya Krishna Jaya Krishna
Krishna Jaya Krishna Jaya Krishna.
Shri Radha Krishna Bhagwan ki. Shri Maharaj Ji says that the works of God and the saints, even intelligent people cannot understand. It reminds me of when one Marwadi businessman traveled in a plane and he was sitting next to Jeff Bezos. Now, the smartest businessman of the United States, with the business community of India, Marwadis are smart but not so educated. So the Marwadi said, "Look, you are specially smart, I am a little smart, so let's play a game. I'll ask you a question. If you can't answer, you will give me $1,000. Then you ask me a question. If I can't answer, I'll give you $100. Jeff Bezos said, "All right, it's worthwhile, we can play this game." So he asked Jeff Bezos, "What creature, when it climbs up the mountain, it has got 3 legs. When it comes down, it has got 4 legs." Jeff Bezos said, "I don't know. Give me $1,000. He gave it to him. The Marwadi businessman took it and went to sleep. Jeff Bezos said, "Now you tell me the answer." The Marwadi businessman said, "I don't know," and he gave $100. Smart. So Sri Maharaj Ji is saying, as regards the works of God, if you claim I know everything, then you are God yourself. He is divine. He is all-knowing. The reason behind all his works are very difficult to fathom. And who is the saint? The saint is one who is surrendered to God. Now, one who surrenders to God becomes the non-doer. God works through that saint. Swami Vivekananda said, an Acharya is one through whom the divine power acts. Even the Bible says the holy men of God spoke as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. So all the saints have said, "Jo kare so hari kare, hot kabir kabir. Na main kiya na kari sakon, sahib karta mor karat karawat aap hai tulsi tulsi shor." Now God is the doer of himself and of the saints. So they both are beyond our intellect. Our intellect will understand up to its limits and not beyond. One child, he came and told his father, "Papa, the neighbor is such a miser, kanjoos." Father said, "What happened?" His son swallowed a dollar coin and they got 2 doctors to get it out. He's such a miser. He should have let it be inside. 2 doctors have applied to get it out. Now, the reason doctors were applied was different. The son is understanding it by his intellect. Another child came home and said, Papa, I will not go to school. Father said, what? The teacher yesterday, he was saying 4 plus 6 is 10. Today he's saying 7 plus 3 is 10. He keeps on changing. Now you are laughing. But when it comes to the divine works of God and the saints, it's the same. It's a divine Leela that is done. Like the whole world says, Ravan was such a bad person. But the fact is, Ravan was a saint. How? The Bhagavatam clearly states he was a parikar of Narayan, Jai and Vijay, the doorkeepers. They got cursed by Sanakadik Paramahansas. Go and become Rakshasas forever. And then Narayan begged forgiveness on the behalf of his servants. Now, please, don't send them as Rakshasas forever. Can you decrease it a little? So they said, all right, go and become demons for 3 births. So Narayan said, if my servants are going for 3 births, I'll go for 4 births. Now the question will arise, how come these Sanak Adik Paramahans became angry? Anger is something that comes because of ignorance. Anger comes in Dvaita Buddhi. Krodh ki Dvaita Buddhi binu, Dvaita ki binu Agyan. And these Sanakadik Paramahansas are completely beyond ignorance. What is making them angry? Now, if Saraswati, Brihaspati use their material intellect, they won't understand. The principle is that it's a Leela. God Himself inspired them to become angry, so they will curse. And thereby, He'll get a chance to do His Leelas. So, these 3 births happened as Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu. And Bhagavan, to kill both of them, he descended as Varaha and Nrisingh. And then again they descended as Ravan and Kumbhakarn. And Bhagavan descended as Ram. So if people ask, why did you come into this world? Ram says, Ravan was troubling you all very much. I came to kill him. See, just like Bollywood movies never happen without a villain. So the villain spices up the plot. Likewise, Bhagavan's Leela also gets spiced up with a villain. If there is no villain, then people say no Maya. Right? Now, who will be a villain in God's Leela? Who's got the power to fight with God? Only the saints. That's why God created the Leela, let the saints go. So Jai and Vijay went and became demons. And they became such powerful demons that nobody could kill them because they had the power of Ram. So Ravan is indicating that Ram, you have sent me, now you come to kill me. And that is why when Surpanakha came and said that, that ascetic out there, Ram has done this to me, Ravan immediately put 2 and 2 together. Khar dushan mo sam balavanta tinahi ko marahi binu bhagavanta. Khar and Dushan were as powerful as me. If Ram has killed them, that means Ram is God. So Ravan thought, I have now 2 options for God realization. Either I go and attend the JKYog family camp. But I've got a tamasic body. I won't be able to sit from morning till night. These people can sit, I won't be able to do it. There's another way. Supposing I fight with Ram, he will then kill me. And if God kills someone, that soul is sent to the abode of God. Unless, of course, there's another Leela to happen. So then let me fight with him. And that is why Ravan deliberately did this enmity. Itham vichintya khila rakshasendro Ramam viditva parameshwaram harim. He knows Ramam viditva parameshwaram harim. Drutam na bhaktya bhagavat prasidet virodha buddhyaiva harim prayami. If I engage in bhakti, Ravan is saying, I will not be able to do Roop Dhyan Sadhana. So instead, Virodha Buddhyaiva, let me be his enemy. So the whole thing was a Leela. Now how will you understand with your intellect? Same thing, Kaikai. She is so badnaam, a disgraced lady. Nobody will call their daughter Kaikai. There was one Kaikai in the age of Treta. After that, nobody named their daughter Kaikai. Because the word Kaikai itself evokes feelings of being anti-Ram. While the fact is, Kaikai was dearmost of the three mothers to Ram. Now we can go into that Leela, but it will sidetrack us. But Ram says, Janani dosha dehi jadtehi sapnehu sadhu sabha nahi jehi. O mother, Kaikai, those people will blame you who have not understood the Ram Leela Rahasya through the satsang. Natemba madhyama tata garhitavya kadachana. O Mother Kaikai, you are my venerable and you will go with me to Saket Lok. So these are the divine pastimes of God and the saints. Bhargavena hatamata. Bhargav killed his mother. Eka jayascha pandava. 5 Pandavas had one wife. Paradara Rata Krishno, Sri Krishna did Maharas, na Deva Charitam Charit. The divine Leelas of God and the saints are not a matter of the intellect. So, they are under the sway of that ocean of love. Bhagvat Rasik ki baatein. रसिक बिना को समझ ही सके ना. The nature of ras is it is crooked. Like Sri Krishna stands crooked. So why doesn't he stand straight? What is the problem with him? If he stands straight, it is ordinary. When he stands crooked, now the ras increases. All the saints say, oh, कहूँ देखे आली ललित त्रिभंगी लाल. Tribhangi Lal, Sri Krishna is Tribhangi Lal, so nice. Sri Krishna has got no shortage of wealth. He can also put on a diamond crown. But that is ordinary. When all the kings of the world are putting on diamond crown, he puts on a peacock feather. And Vedavyas says, Varha Pidam Natavaravapu Karnayo Karnikaram. That is the rasik. Means he does vichitra things. It's like the snake. The snake moves crooked. Why? Can the snake not go straight? It does. When it goes into the ground, it goes straight. Because the snake doesn't make its hole. It uses the mouse's hole. So it knows how to go straight. But when it moves on the ground, it moves crooked. So the nature of ras is Ahi eva gatihi premnaha. The nature of love is it is crooked. With your intellect, how will you understand? Guru Nanak, he was going from village to preach. He reached one village and he found very evil people there. So after staying there for a night, when he was about to leave, they asked for a blessing. He said, "May you always stay here in peace." He then went to a next village and there he met some really nice people. And they also asked him for a blessing. He said, "May you all get dispersed." So Guru Nanak's disciple, his intellect became confused. Guruji's become a little old now. Is he still working? Has dementia set in by now? What is the matter? So he could not resist. He said, "Gurudev, those evil people, you bless them that they should stay here prosperous. And those good people, you bless them that they should disperse." Guru Nanak then explained, if these people disperse, they'll spread evil all over. But these people, when they disperse, they will take with them goodness everywhere they go. That is why there's a story in the Suratul Kahf of the Quran. There was one fakir called Al-Khijr and a Paigambar called Hazrat Musa. Before attaining enlightenment, he asked Al-Khijr, "Can I stay with you?" Al-Khijr said, "You are welcome. On one condition, you will not use your intellect to understand what I do." Hazrat Musa said, "Yes, I take a vow." Now they went somewhere and they reached the dock where a boat was there. Al-Khijr made a hole in the boat and he brought it down. Hazrat Musa said, "What's wrong with him?" I said, "I will not use my intellect." So they went a little way ahead and there was a little child. Al-Khijr killed the child. Hazrat Musa was now beyond himself to control his intellect. He then went further and there was a house with a broken wall. And Al-Khijr started making the wall, repairing it. Hazrat Musa said, "What is this?" So Shri Maharaj Ji said, "Hari Hari Jan ke atapate. Atapate karya. These are the atapate karya." So he said, "Guruji, if you don't mind, what is the matter with you? You sank the ship and here you are repairing the wall." Al-Khijr smiled and he said, "Look, that ship had the king's gold in it and pirates were about to take it out. So I sank it there and they will not be able to steal the wealth. And this child was going to grow up and become a very evil man. So I thought may as well finish him off. And this house, the father has passed away. The children are yet ignorant. There's a lot of wealth under that wall. If they get it all right now, they will waste it. So I said, let me make the wall so they grow up and then they can access it. But now you cannot stay with me any longer. Why? I told you, you will not use your intellect. So the nature of the saints is such, all that they will do is for the welfare of others. But it's not necessary that we, with our material intellect, will be able to understand what is the welfare in everything that they do. We should simply understand the principle. just like Prahlad. At the age of 5, he achieved Bhagavad Prapti. God himself took avatar for his sake. Imagine. But after that, Bhagavan said, Prahlad, become a king. Not only Prahlad became a king, he married. He had a little child, Virochan. And as Virochan became friend with his guru, Angira's child, Sudhanva. So once Virochan and Sudhanva started quarreling. Virochan said, I am bigger. I am Rajkumar. Sudhanva said, I am bigger. I am Rishi Kumar. I am the son of a rishi. You are the son of a king. So I am bigger. Who will decide who is bigger? Sudhanva said to Prahlad's son, Virochan, your father will decide. My father will decide, then you will say that he has done pakshpat. He has done prejudice. So Sudhanva said, no, my father, Angira Rishi, has said, Prahlad can never be prejudiced because he is God realized. So they went to Prahlad and Virochan asked, Father, who is bigger, I or Sudhanva? Prahlad said, why did this question arise? So Virochan said, we have laid a bet. If I am bigger, then his life is in my hands. And if he is bigger, then my life is in his hands. Prahlad said, that's the matter. Well, then listen. Our birth has been in a demon's family. He is from the Rishi Kul. He is bigger. So Prahlad gave the judgment against his son. And he was the only son of Prahlad. If he dies, who will be king after Prahlad? Such a big question. Nevertheless, Prahlad is only going to do justice. And all great sages were lined up in Prahlad's assembly. Everybody is quiet because Prahlad cannot do injustice. The saint can call Yoga Maya, but he cannot call Maya. So Prahlad called the soldiers, take my son away. Put him on the guillotine. The soldiers came and were taking away Virochan. When Sudhanva spoke up, he said, wait, second question. Are you bigger, Prahlad, or am I bigger? So Prahlad smiled again. He said, there is no doubt you are bigger. In that case, release your son. So Prahlad said, release him. Just the way he said, take him away. In the same way, he said, release him. This son, daughter, marriage, it was all external. Internally, there was nothing. Prahlad was a God-realized saint. Externally, if you evaluate, you'll say, oh my God, Prahlad is in household life. And he must be acting. Not acting, he has a son. How can he be acting when he's got a son? But the fact is, it is all Yoga Maya. From inside, there is zero attachment. So these divine plays of God and the saints, Kripalviji Maharaj is saying, be careful. Don't try and understand them with your tiny intellect. Next. Dui Maya ek Vedya apar avedya tat radhe radhe.
Dui Maya ek Vedya apar avidya
दुई माया एक वेद्या अपर अवेद्या साथ राधे राधे
दुई माया एक वेद्या अपर अवेद्या साथ राधे राधे
जातीय वेद्या ज्ञान ते वेद्या भक्ति जात राधे राधे
जातीय विद्या ज्ञान से विद्या भक्ति जात राधे राधे
जातीय वेद्या ज्ञान ते वेद्या भक्ति जात राधे राधे
जाति अविद्या ज्ञान ते विद्या भक्ति जात राधे राधे
So Maya is the material Shakti. The material Shakti of God, the one that has got us all into illusion. Once Narad, he asked Sri Krishna, "Oh Sri Krishna, what is this Maya of yours?" Sri Krishna did not answer. He said, "Narad, let's go for a walk." When they ventured out into the countryside, there was a stream nearby. Sri Krishna said, "Narad, I am thirsty. Can you please get some water for me in your renunciant pot?" Narad said, "Maharaj, I'll be here in 5 minutes." Now Narad, when he sat down at the river, started filling the water, he realized there was a beautiful girl sitting by his side. Narad said, "Can I have your WhatsApp contact?" Slowly they started talking. Narad said, "Let me escort you to your house." While going, Narad said, "Will you marry me?" The girl said, "You need permission of my father." Now Narad reached the home and asked the father. The father said to Narad, "You don't have any kind of qualification, no bank balance, no 401c, nothing. If you want, you become self-sufficient, economically self-reliant, and I'll get you married to my daughter." So Narad, he went and encroached a little bit of property outside the village. Now he didn't know anything else. So he started tilling the land out there. But then some laborers were needed for all the agricultural. He engaged the laborers. And then after that they got married. Now they had need for milk. He kept a cow. But the laborers also needed milk. He kept some more cows. Those cows had their children and more laborers were needed. In the meantime, Narad's family was multiplying from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In those days, they did not have any family planning. So 6 children, 20 years went by. Narad was completely in the clutches of the household life. One child is saying, "Papa, you help me prepare for the SAT." And the other is saying, "Papa, let's go for that game." And the third has done excreta in his pants and Narad is beating him. This was the state of Devarshi. 20 years had gone by. He had promised to Sri Krishna that he'll get water in 5 minutes. Now, suddenly one day, the river water started rising. The flood was a severe one, and it started inundating the homes. So it reached Narad's home. He took his family and went onto the tree. And then the water was rising so fast, they all climbed and climbed and climbed. But the current pulled his one child away. And Narad said, Beta, where are you going? You were supposed to be the Sahara of my Murhapa. In the meantime, the second son floated by, third daughter, fourth, fifth, all of them floated by. Narad was only left with his wife. But the river force increased and the wife also was snatched away. Narad was now left by himself. The current of the water went down soon and Narad was back on the land. So the village panchayat came around that from the Prime Minister's relief fund, there will be disbursement to people who have had damage. So they asked Narad, we are making a list. What has been the damage in your house? Narad said, my wife has gone. The villagers said, really? In that case, you will also have to go. What do you mean? We mean, in this village of ours, we've got a tradition which is called Sata. Now you have heard of Sati. The feminine form of the word is Sati. So Sati used to be a tradition in the ancient days. When the husband died, the wife, just to save herself from society, she would jump into the fire. So Sati, occasionally people would commit it. They said, in our village we do Sata. If the wife has died, you also have to die. Narad said, Are Baba, I've got nothing to do with your village. What do you mean? You've lived here for 20 years. You are bound. So they caught hold of Narad and took him to the river's edge. Now 5 big men were around. They said to Narad, jump! Narad realized his life was in danger. He remembered Sri Krishna and screamed, Hey Sri Krishna! As he screamed, the whole scenario changed. There was now no longer any village out there, and the river was back to normal, and there was a pot in Narad's hand, and Sri Krishna was patting him. Sri Krishna said, Narad, what is the matter? I asked you to get water. You have been sitting here for the last 10 minutes, and now you are screaming, Save me, what happened? Narad said, 10 minutes, Maharaj. I thought it was a full 20 years. And I had married and I had 6 such nice children. And then they all disappeared and the wife also disappeared. Oh, I understand. I had told you, what is this Maya? You gave me an experience of Maya. Right? So in this Maya, we are also having the experiences. Right? So Kripaluji Maharaj is saying this Maya is of 2 kinds. One is Vidya Maya, one is Avidya Maya. Both are the energies, the partitions of one Maya. A thief was waiting to burgle from a house, and he was standing behind the hedge. The moment the owners went out, he said, now it must be empty. He made his entry. And as he entered, he heard the voice, Jesus is watching you. The thief was scared. Who said that? He looked around. Again the voice came, I told you Jesus is watching you. So he looked and there was a parrot in a cage. He said, did you say it? The parrot said, yes. What is your name? The parrot said, my name is Moses. So the thief said, which kind of man will name his parrot Moses? The parrot responded, the same kind of man who calls his German shepherd Jesus. So God has also got his left punch and right punch, right? One is avidya maya, one is vidya maya. They are both the energies of God. With one maya, he makes this world. And with the other one, he is putting us in ignorance. So you can also understand it in different ways. This maya is understood. One is Swarupa Varika Maya, one is Guna Varika Maya. Swarupa Varika Maya has made us forget who we are. Guna Varika Maya has gotten us attached to the world. Or you can understand them as Tamogun, Rajogun, and Sattvagun. Now, this kind of thing, anybody who is familiar with Indian philosophy is familiar with the three gunas, the three modes of material nature. So, what are the symptoms of Tamogun? Ignorance, sleep, laziness, intoxication, violence. What are the symptoms of Rajogun? Enhanced passion, materialistic ambition, numerous desires. What is the symptom of Sattvagun? The calming of the mind, a sense of contentment, the dawning of knowledge, the development of good qualities like kindness, compassion. So, better than Tamogun is Rajogun, better than that is Sattvagun. Now, Gyan takes us to Sattvagun. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. Sri Krishna has said in the Gita. Kaivalyam sattvikam jnanam. Vedvyas has written in the Bhagavad. So with jnana, with knowledge, you will reach Sattvagun. You will destroy to some extent the ignorance within. But Kripaluji Maharaj says that Vidya Maya will remain. Sattvagun is also a guna of the material energy Maya. And that Sattvagun will only go by the grace of God. So to attract grace, you will need bhakti. So understand it like this. When people do sadhana, they rise from the mode of ignorance to passion to goodness. But by their self-effort, they can never cross the mode of goodness. And when they surrender to God, He bestows His Yoga Maya energy. That is called Shuddha Sattva. When that energy comes, it destroys all three gunas. And now the heart becomes completely cleansed. It becomes divine. At that time then, Maya is destroyed. Gyan mare de mukti pad karma mare de swarg radhe radhe.
Gyan mare de mukti pad karma mare de swarg radhe radhe.
Gyan mare de mukti pad karma mare de swarg radhe radhe.
Gyan mare de mukti pad karma mare de swarg radhe radhe.
अमर है एक भक्ति चहन स्वर्ग अपवर्ग राधे राधे
अमर रहे एक भक्ति चहन स्वर्ग अपवर्ग राधे राधे
अमर एक मुक्ति चहन स्वर्ग अपवर्ग राधे राधे
अमर रहे एक भक्ति चहन स्वर्ग अपवर्ग राधे राधे
Karma refers to karma kand. The karma kand that is done, what is the fruit of karma kand? It takes you to the celestial abodes. You do karma dharma, it will give you swarg. Swarga kamo yajet. So you do the karma kand, you will be promoted to the celestial abodes. And then karma, which took you to swarg, is finished. It bestowed its fruit, swarg, and karma is finished. Now, what is the nature of gyan? It destroys the ignorance inside. And finally, it bestows liberation. And then gyan is finished. Now you are in the samadhi, and gyan is also finished. But bhakti is such a sadhan that it remains always with you. Sadhana siddhi Rama padani. Right now you are doing bhakti. What for? To attain bhakti. You are doing sadhan bhakti. Later on you will get siddh bhakti. So once you get bhakti, then what will you do? We will still do bhakti. Bhakti will always remain with us. That is the nature of bhakti. Only the quality of the bhakti will keep changing. So you are saying Radhe Radhe. Even the God realized saints in Golok, they also say Radhe Radhe. The difference is the love with which they say it. So all the bhakti you keep doing, it will just keep growing, adding. It will always remain. God will keep on purifying it and intensifying it by His leelas. That is why there are two kinds of viraha, two kinds of separation from God. One is viraha before God realization. Before God realization, you experience this separation. When will I meet Sri Krishna? When will I meet Sri Krishna? When will I meet Sri Krishna? This is before God realization. And after God realization, now there is no question of separation from God. And yet He gives divine separation. Divya viraha. Why does He do it? To increase the love of His devotees even more. That is why Sri Krishna did such pastimes in Vrindavan that all the Brajvasis, their minds went to Him. They could think of nothing apart from Him. Because He is Chittachor, somewhere He is stealing butter, somewhere He is doing something else. So all that the Brajbasis could think of by the time Sri Krishna was 11 years was just Krishna, 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 Krishna. And then Sri Krishna said, okay, now their devotion is ripe enough. So He left them. Their devotion is ripe enough. He left them and went to Mathura. And from Mathura, He went to Dwarka. And He never returned to Vrindavan, except the one time we did in our meditation. So, He gave the gopis a viraha of 100 years. Now, if you use your intellect, you will say he must be loving the queens more than the gopis. Because he was there with the queens day and night, they got personal association of Dwarkadhish. And the gopis, they were left stranded out there. They did not even have Sri Krishna's email for any exchange with him. So he may not have loved the gopis so much. This is what our material intellect will say. But Sri Krishna did it deliberately. Why? Because in that divine separation, the gopis were just longing and longing and longing. And their love was becoming more and more and more selfless. See, in union, there can be selfishness. I am getting the happiness of my beloved. I am with Sri Krishna. I am getting his darshan, association. It's feeling so nice. But in separation, there is only selflessness. Because there's only longing and no fulfillment. So Sri Krishna pulled that separation for so long. The point is, in the separation, the love keeps on increasing. It does so in the world also. I guess that when husband and wife, when they live together for too long, then the love starts decreasing, right? Oh my God, he snores at night, etc., etc. But then when the husband goes on deputation for 4 months to a project in Guatemala, then the wife is waiting. When will he come? He's so nice. Now the longing has increased. It has come back. And when the husband returns, her love is not the peak. But after 15 days again, it starts reducing. So, jag mein bhi badhta pyar sada piya ke ghar aane jaane se. Now, Sri Krishna, he is doing this with the gopis, whose love is so much, but he is increasing it even further. So, this love is such a thing. There is no end to it. Karma kand, you did so much. Gyan, you got so much. And bhakti, prem mein purnima nahi. It will keep on increasing for the rest of eternity. So the gopis, their love was so immense. We discussed the gopis' love, right? The episode about the Sri Krishna's Leela when he pretended he had a headache. And then after that, the gopis' curiosity increased. Oh my God. What is the pastime Sri Krishna used to do with the gopis? Because he's so enamored by them. We want to know a little bit about the Braj Ras. Who will tell us? Who will tell us? All the queens of Sri Krishna, Rukmini, Satyabhama, they all started discussing. So they finally then deliberated that Rohini Mata, she also used to live in Braj when Krishna was there. She must be knowing. So they went to Rohini Maiya, the mother of Balaram, and said, Mate, can you please tell us about Krishna's Braj Leelas with the gopis and with Radha? So Rohini said, I do know them, but they are my son's private, intimate Leelas. And being a mother, I am little embarrassed to say them out. But the queen started insisting, you have to tell us, you have to tell us. So Rohini said, all right, in that case, you do one thing. Tomorrow morning, Krishna and Balaram will go to the darbar, to their court, as they are both kings. So you all gather in the palace. So Krishna and Balaram left. All the queens gathered. Rohini called Subhadra, Krishna's brother, and said, "You sit outside and do chaukidari, gatekeeping." So there are no gate crashers in our party. Nobody should come inside without permission, not even a mosquito. Now here Rohini started relating Krishna's leelas. That, in the evening when Krishna would come from grazing the cows, Maya would give him a bath, then he would sit in the darbar of Nand Baba and some entertainment would go on. He would sit with Nand Baba and then talk to Yashoda Maya and she would feed him a little and then she would tuck him in bed and say, "Okay, Lala, go to sleep." And Yashoda would go to sleep. But Krishna would wake up after Maya had slept and he would slip off into the forest. And there the gopis also used to slip off in the forest and they used to meet out there, and all this Rohini started relating. Now this Braj Ras was being related. And Krishna and Balaram out there, they came to know that such ras is being related. They developed the yearning, we also want to relish this. So finally they could not resist. They got up from the darbar and headed back to the palace. When they reached that room, Subhadra was outside. She said, "Bhai Sahab, no entry today." So both Krishna and Balaram sat down by the side of Subhadra. Now Rohini was speaking in a little loud voice so all could hear. And the sound was coming out as well. Krishna and Balaram were able to hear. And Rohini was just going on and on. Then they used to have the Jal Vihar. And then after that, the gopis would take them, dry them up, do their shringar. Then the Shayan Leela used to happen. Then they used to wake them in the morning and then do the Datun, etc., etc. And when they started praising Radharani, now Sri Krishna could not control any longer. So he went to Mahabhav Samadhi. You see, what happens in that divine love is that love is like an ocean in the heart. And then on receiving the right triggers, it starts swelling more and more. It's like an ocean that starts swelling. So that kind of love is in the heart of these gopis and Krishna and Radha, etc. It started swelling, and finally Sri Krishna could bear it no longer. He went into a state called Mahabhav Samadhi. So his eyes were big like this, his hands were frozen, and he was stambhit, motionless. Balaram saw his brother's state. And he also, his love started swelling. Now that served as the trigger. Like you see one sadhak doing intense sadhana, shedding tears, you also start that. So Balaram's love started increasing. He also went into samadhi, his hands froze, his eyes became big. Subhadra saw her two brothers. She also reached Mahabhav Samadhi, but her hands were behind. Now the divine disc Sudarshan came and saw the situation of its masters. So it also experienced Mahabhav and it became flat. So Mahabhav Samadhi, you may have read a little bit about it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he would go for darshan of Lord Jagannath, he would go into Mahabhav Samadhi. So it's such an intense state, sometimes the joints get elongated. The body just loosens up. Or sometimes one becomes completely motionless. The scripture says, Stambaha, Swedaha, Swarabheda, Vepatuhu, Romanch, Vaivarnya, Ashru, Pralaya. The whole body is trembling, tears are rolling out, the hair are standing on the end, that kind of a thing. So all four of them were in that state, and Rohini was continuing. Now Narad got the news. So Narad arrived out there, and he saw this jhanki of Krishna, Balaram, and Subhadra and the divine disc. He was so amazed. He did his pranam. In the meantime, the episode inside changed. Rohini changed and started saying something else. So that samadhi, that love that had swelled, it started subsiding. Krishna became normal, Balaram, Subhadra. And then Narad got a chance to ask. He said, Sri Krishna, what is this I saw today? Sri Krishna said, Narad, this was my Mahabhav Swarup. The Braja Ras that was being related by Rohini, it increased my love to such an extent. So the pastime reveals the glory of Gopi Prem. The nature of the Gopi is love, which is considered the highest in the three worlds that Bhagavan went into Mahabhav. Narad said, Maharaj, I am so fortunate I had this darshan today. I pray to you, may others also have darshan of this form. Sri Krishna said, so be it. This story is related by Veda Vyas in the Skanda Puran, where he relates the Purushottam Dham Mahatmya, the Mahatmya of Jagannath Puri Dham. So, Sri Krishna said, Narad, I bestow the boon. Others will also see this form. Because I have promised Raja Indradyumna that in Kali Yuga I will manifest as Daru Brahma in a wooden form. And I have also promised Bimala Devi that I will distribute Mahaprasad in a huge amount. And now all three Vardans, I will fulfill them simultaneously. And that is why he then manifested as Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra in Jagannath Puri Dham. Shri Jagannath Mahaprabhu ki. So this form that he manifested happened once more as well. This happened, like I told you, that there was a solar eclipse in Kurukshetra. Now Krishna went from Dwarka along with the Vrishnivanshis, all the queens, Rukmini, Satyabhama. And out there, Radhaji and the gopis also arrived, along with Nanda and Yashoda. They were meeting Krishna after so many decades. Can you imagine? So the gopis, the queens, had heard so much about Radha. They met Radha, but they were eager to meet Radha from close quarters. They invited Radharani to their tent without telling Krishna. Now there was the gup-shup talking, etc., and they were all very impressed by Radha's qualities, which was all self-evident. And they offered her milk. But in the pride of being queens, their carelessness crept in and they offered hot milk to Radharani. She drank it. Saral Swabhav. At night, when Rukmini started pressing the feet of Krishna, she saw that there are big, big boils out there. So this startled Rukmini. All the queens gathered. What happened to your feet, Maharaj? Sri Krishna said, you gave hot milk to Radha. Rukmini admitted her mistake. I am so sorry. I was careless. But her mouth should have got burnt. Why did your feet get burnt? Sri Krishna said, Shri Radhikaya Hridayarvinde Padarvinda hi virajate me Andyoshna dugdha pratipanatongha buchalakaste mamaprochalanti. My feet always reside in the heart of Radha. She is constantly meditating on them. Now you offered the hot milk, the feet got burnt. So, again, it just manifested the glory of Radha and the Brajvasis. And this Radha Rani, on her request, she said to Sri Krishna, you are the same Sri Krishna, we are your same gopis. But the ras is different. In Kurukshetra, you have become a great king out here. So please come with us to Braj just once. Krishna agreed. And a chariot was made. And Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra sat on the chariot and the gopis pulled him from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. At that time also Krishna went into such divine ecstasy. All three of them went into the same Mahabhav state as Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. So the tradition of the chariots continues in Puri and thereby nowadays throughout the world. Every year, Jagannath Ji, that Mahabhav Swarup of Sri Krishna who resides in Purushottam Kshetra, he decides to descend outside his temple for the chariot festival. And then he is placed on the chariot and the devotees, they pull the chariot, etc. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is considered Sri Krishna and Radha Bhava, simply just Radha avatar, when he used to reside in Puri, he used to celebrate the chariot festival with great jubilation. He would organize the devotees in advance. There'll be so many kirtan parties. You people who have come from Pulyagram, there will be one of your party. You people who have come from there, there'll be one party. In each party, there'll be 2 mridangas, 1 lead singer, 8 followers, etc., etc. And then, in that way, he would then start dancing before Jagannath. His bhav was, this is our Sri Krishna and we are taking him from Kurukshetra to Braj. So that Rath Yatra tradition continues till today. Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe,
Jai
Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe. Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe
Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe
Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Krishna Jaya Krishna Jaya Krishna
Krishna Jaya Krishna Jaya Krishna
Shri Radha Krishna Bhagwan ki Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj ki Radha Krishna Mandir ki JKYog Family Camp ki Rath Yatra Mahotsav ki समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय जय